Hey everyone, welcome to The Explainer. June 1st, 2026 just dropped an absolutely massive pile of tech news on us. And if you've been tracking the industry, you know things are moving fast. But what we're looking at today is something genuinely special. We're hitting this fascinating maturation point across multiple domains. We aren't just looking at isolated product launches or random hacks anymore. We're witnessing a full-blown convergence of security, hardware, and design.
So here is our roadmap for The Explainer. 1. The new security paradigm. 2. Pushing hardware boundaries. 3. Future form factors. And 4. The road ahead. Let's get right into it.
Section 1. The new security paradigm. From technical debt rescues to ecosystem vulnerabilities. Let's dive into our first theme by examining two massive digital heists with completely different endings.
Our first story is literally a digital thriller. In an incredible white hat recovery, a security researcher going by the pseudonym OX Florent pulled off the impossible, unlocking $2 million in Ethereum. And this wasn't some quick smash and grab. This crypto had been gathering dust, completely trapped in the Hong Kong smart contract for 9 long years, all the way back to a failed ICO in 2016.
Now, you might be wondering, why was it stuck in the first place? Well, it all comes down to an integer overflow vulnerability. Basically, older Solidity code had this massive blind spot where if a number got too big, it just wrapped right back to zero. No alarms, just silently broken logic. Modern code prevents this automatically, but legacy contracts are completely riddled with this technical debt. So OX Florent carefully, legally reverse-engineered that exact vulnerability to basically trick the ancient contract into handing the funds back to their rightful owners.
Contrast that heroic rescue of old code with an absolute modern nightmare. The $230 million Aave RS ETH hack. This wasn't a flaw in Aave's core smart contracts at all. It was a vicious 4-step exploit hitting their off-chain infrastructure. Step 1. The attacker used RPC poisoning to mess with a single-point verifier on a bridge. Step 2. They forged a cross-chain message. Step 3. A totally separate contract bought the lie and minted over 116,500 unbacked counterfeit tokens. And then, Step 4, the attacker casually walked over to Aave with those fake tokens and used them as collateral to borrow $250 million in real assets. Just wild.
So the takeaway here is absolutely crucial. Your core smart contracts can be locked down tight, but if your bridges or your oracles have a weak link, you are wide open. After this disaster, Aave ripped up and overhauled their listing standards. They're no longer just doing contract audits, they're reviewing the entire technical architecture. True security today means locking down the whole interconnected ecosystem.
Moving on to Section 2, pushing hardware boundaries, solving bottlenecks in pure performance and efficiency. We are shifting gears from digital ecosystems over to physical silicon.
Take AMD's latest move. They just dropped the Radeon RX 9070 Golden Rabbit Edition globally, and they priced it at a super aggressive $549. Packing the RDNA 4 architecture and 12 gigs of VRAM, this is AMD taking dead aim at the heart of the mid-range GPU market, specifically targeting that massive chunk of gamers who play at 1440p resolution.
And this perfectly illustrates the current GPU battlefield. Sure, NVIDIA is still the king of proprietary tech, dominating with DLSS and heavy ray tracing, but AMD is playing an incredibly smart, good enough game here. Yeah, it's maybe 10 to 15% slower than the standard 9070, and it lacks those NVIDIA software perks. But by offering future-proof VRAM for just $549, they're giving the pragmatic majority exactly what they want: superb performance without completely emptying their wallets.
The bottlenecks are breaking the display world too. Alienware just revealed their new AW3426DW monitor, and it uses this mind-bending tech called QD OLED Penta Tandem. You know OLED's biggest traditional flaw, right? It's just too dim for a well-lit room. Well, by vertically stacking independent red, green, and blue layers, they've somehow pushed the brightness to an eye-watering 1300 nits, all while keeping those perfect, infinite contrast colors OLED is famous for.
Just listen to these specs: a 34-inch ultra-wide, that blinding 1300 nit peak brightness, a blistering 280 Hz refresh rate, and a 0.03 millisecond response time. Add in hardcore burn-in mitigations like pixel shift and logo dimming, and suddenly this monitor pushes the boundaries of visual performance. It makes OLED finally viable for practically any room in the house, not just pitch-black gaming caves. All right, Section 3, Future Form Factors, moving from awkward iterations to mainstream design. Let's talk about how humans physically interact with all this powerful tech.
If you've been following the leaks out of South Korea, you already know the Galaxy Z Fold 8 is getting a massive glow-up. For years, Samsung stubbornly clung to that tall, awkwardly narrow cover screen that frankly nobody liked typing on. Now, they're finally pivoting to the Z Fold 8 Wide. We're talking a 6.5-inch screen with a balanced 20:9 aspect ratio, meaning it feels like a normal phone when it's closed, plus a hinge engineered to survive 300,000 folds. It's proof that even the tech giants eventually have to listen to market feedback about user comfort.
But foldables are practically normalizing now. The real next physical frontier is your face. Reports indicate Apple is gearing up to launch mainstream smart glasses in late 2027. We aren't talking massive AR headsets like the Vision Pro. We mean everyday, stylish glasses designed to go toe-to-toe with Meta's Ray-Bans. But why is Apple pivoting so hard into this specific wearable space?
To get it, just look at the sheer scale of the numbers. The global watch market is massive, valued around $132 billion. Apple walked into that space and completely conquered it. But the global eyewear market, that is a $200 billion absolute behemoth. Apple is essentially looking to run their exact Apple Watch playbook, but on a significantly larger playing field.
It's definitely not going to be a walk in the park, though. They've got to break through EssilorLuxottica's retail monopoly, fend off Meta's established $299 glasses, and figure out the battery versus fashion trade-off. But their biggest hurdle is privacy. Putting cameras on faces inherently freaks people out. If Apple pulls this off, it'll be because they weaponize their privacy-first reputation to make face cameras socially acceptable to everyday consumers.
Finally, Section 4, The Road Ahead, synthesizing the lessons of June 2026. Let's zoom out and connect all these dots. So, what's the big takeaway from all of this? Whether we're talking about defending a DeFi supply chain, squeezing maximum value out of a mid-range GPU, or standardizing phone shapes for actual human comfort, the word of the day is maturation. The industry is finally learning from its past fumbles. They aren't just building faster or flashier things anymore, they are building a more sustainable, genuinely secure ecosystem.
We've hit this incredible point of convergence. AI, blockchain, advanced silicon, user-centric design, they aren't operating in silos anymore. They're deeply intertwined. The companies poised to thrive in this landscape are the ones who adapt on the fly, listen to market feedback, and prioritize giving users genuine utility rather than just extracting value.
I want to leave you with this thought to chew on until our next explainer. As technology matures and intertwines at an unprecedented pace, are we building systems that empower human connection? Or are we just creating more intricate points of failure? As all this tech gets closer to us, literally living on our faces and running our finances, we've got to ensure we're pouring concrete foundations, not just stacking a taller house of cards. Thanks for hanging out with me for this deep dive. Stay curious, keep questioning, and I'll catch you next time.